All right, everybody, here we are. It's the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness review. What's going on, everybody? Kristian Harloff here. If you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe. And I'm in a stupid mood. Why? Well, because I am, and I'm stupid. And there's no chance this will happen anyway. So in 24 hours, if everybody who's brand new is finding this channel and subscribes to the channel, I'll smash myself in the face with a lemon pie and do a full review, but it's got to happen in 24 hours. I got to get to 50,000 subscribers. Doesn't happen, no lemon pie in the face. So that's what we're doing. Lemon pie in the face. If you're brand new to it, subscribe. But anyway, you're here for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Non-spoiler, as it says in the title of this video. Okay, so my concerns and the things that about this movie in general, like, dislike. So my concern was that Sam Raimi has a very particular style, and I was worried that sometimes his style would overpower the movie. It happens in this movie, for sure. There are times that, without spoiling anything, there are certain things that happen that it's very style over substance. However, the style is so different from what Marvel normally does. It has to be applauded because they talk about how this is supposed to be the biggest horror movie, horror elements, and Raimi promised it, Derrickson promised it. They deliver on it. There's definitely a lot of horror elements, and if you're a Sam Raimi fan, I think you're really gonna like this movie because there was traces of like The Ring and other things that he did in the way, and I certainly saw elements of not necessarily horror, but in Spider-Man in the way that he shot stuff. And there's that thing that blend over. If you're a Raimi fan, and he blends with Elfman very well in this movie, Elfman's score is really good. So there are a lot of things, though, I thought sometimes not as cheesy as things happen in the earlier 2000s, but there were times where I was like, okay, I wish I just had a little bit more definition of the story than that particular shot that went in there or did that, and it seemed quick sometimes and a little, I don't know, discombobulated. That's the stuff that stood out. Now, there's stuff in general. The story is that Doctor Strange, something happens in the multiverse. Something happens where there's a way to jump back and forth in all these multiverses. How? Why does it happen? Well, that's the stuff I don't want to spoil for you. But I wasn't as locked in emotionally as I was in, say, No Way Home or in What If. There were a lot of stories that I thought they used Rachel McAdams a lot better in this one than they did in the first movie. However, the relationship between Doctor Strange and Rachel McAdams, I think that I was more attached to what he wanted in What If than I was in this. I thought that the new character, and again, I don't want to spoil her yet. There's a new character, a younger girl in this movie who it's essentially, I think, really her story has the most emotional arc out of all of it. However, Benedict Cumberbatch is fantastic in you've seen the trailers in a lot of different things that he's asked to do inside of this movie. There are some fun things going on in this film for sure. The movie is something that should be watched in the theater. I will say that for sure because, as I mentioned, it takes a lot of big swings and it hits on a lot of them because I love multiverse and parallel universes and the idea of what they are and how they're used. I'm fascinated by them and there's a lot of things that I kind of always talk about on show about dreams and things of that nature that they tie into it that I found fascinating. I wanted a little bit more of that. I wanted to really explore more of that. But when it comes to a big summer blockbuster movie, you have to have those big over-the-top pieces. There's a lot of them in there. So I think for a summer movie, there's going to be a lot of people who really love this. The stuff that I was really fascinated by when they hit it, they hit it. I thought Elizabeth Olsen does a great job in this. What I will tell you is that you need to watch WandaVision in order to catch up what's going on with her story in this. So you should really watch WandaVision. If you haven't watched it and you're going into Doctor Strange, you might be a little lost with her angle overall. There's other things that happen that I can cover. I'm going to cover with Coy and myself in my spoiler review. But what I will tell you that it's a good movie to watch in the theaters because there's no way you leave this and say, oh, that's like every other Marvel movie. It's not. It definitely is not. It's not for, and I wouldn't show my 10-year-old this movie. We're going to be watching the Marvel movies. It's not. There's some creepy images. There's some jump scares. There's all that stuff that you would get in a horror movie. But like I said, I just wish I was a little bit more emotionally attached to the story. And I wasn't as much as I was, but I liked watching it. It's a summer movie. I think some people are going to be disappointed with it. I think some people are going to love it. I think Raimi fans are going to love it. I think horror fans are going to love it. For me, it's something I'll probably have to see again. But where I stand right now, again, could change after a rewatch for the better or the worse. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5 schmoes. Could go down, could go up after a second watch, but that's where I stand at the moment. Again, you're brand new to this channel and you're just checking out this review, subscribe. And within 24 hours, if I hit 10,000, I'm going to do my next video with a full lemon pie on my stupid face. That's what I'm doing to myself. What else could I say about this? There's really nothing else I can do without spoiling the movie itself. Performances are good. Images are good. Music are good. I've talked about everything else. There's a scene that came out that they released. There's too much stuff that they released, in my personal opinion. But they released something the other day in New York that I thought went on too long. But again, I'll cover more of this. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. This is the review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. 3.5 out of 5 schmoes for Sam Raimi and AMCU. All right. Thanks, everybody. Peace.